We have a little bit of Slavic surplus to show you today. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for stopping by the channel and checking it out. So today, we can already tell by the title, we are going to go over the Polish P-64. Just got this at a pawn shop. Pretty decent deal I got it for. Been meaning to get my hands on one of these for obvious reasons. But yeah, we will hop on in, take a look at it, show you how it functions, how it comes apart and such. And we'll go from there, give you my opinion. Alright, so these days, you don't find these around as often as you used to. They used to be on Classic Arms all the time. You'd see them on all sorts of websites. They used to go like $250, something like that, and now the prices are starting to bounce up. I was actually pretty happy I found one of these at the local pawn shop. But you don't see them as often, and they are a little bit different than what people are used to, so I figured I'd go over how it functions and such, and kind of give you an idea of what you're getting yourself into if you're interested in one of these, because they are surplus, they're inexpensive, but they're great little handguns. So we'll dive right in. First off, they generally won't come in a box. You get them in a cardboard packaging, or in this case, in a pawn shop, there's no box whatsoever. It was just what I got was what I got. What I did get, you do get 2 magazines with it. Generally speaking, most of the time you will get 2 mags. You'll notice they are numbered. Grab the other mag for you. They do have different numbers on the mags. Get it to focus. This camera has been very difficult with focusing lately. But I believe they are 6+1, and that is a 9mm Makarov. That is not 9mm Luger. It's not a regular 9mm. It's a little bit shorter, so please don't mix up those two types of ammunition. Bad things could happen. Alright. So, looking at the firearm, there we go. You'll see on the side, 9mm P-64. Now remember, overseas, 9mm Makarov is their 9mm, so again, just know what you're getting into and know your different calibers. Let me do that and see if that helps with the zoom. There we go, much better. Okay. Sorry everybody, I'm still learning this camera. Okay, so you'll see here, imported by Century Arms. That is in Georgia, Vermont. It was originally manufactured in Luxnik, Poland. You'll see all the numbers there, made in 1976. But I have to say, for a firearm made in the 70s, this is still in pretty good shape. Alright, so we'll go over the features of it. One of the biggest things you will see is it has that European style mag release. It is empty. There's nothing in it. So nobody freak out. Alright, when you put it in, you notice there's no button here. This is the original European style. Buttons on the bottom, you pull it out. See how that shot straight forward? Still pretty good spring tension in there. Mags drop right out, so you just have to get used to putting them in, pulling them out that way. A little different than people are used to. You'll see there are some decent slide serrations here. You have a manual safety, which also acts as a decocker. You do have very, very, very basic sights, which in this model, somebody has put a little bit of paint or shoe polish or something, or maybe fingernail polish on the front, which actually it does help quite a bit to pick up that target acquisition. All right, sight acquisition, whatever you want to call it. Blech. I can't talk tonight. Sorry. All right, you see the slide serrations are very nice on both sides. They're not too deep, not too rigid. They don't hurt, just enough to grab. They feel good. But you notice it's just very nice, smooth, sleek lines on this. It's one of the biggest reasons I like it. Looks a lot like a Walther PPK, and if I remember correctly, that's kind of where they got a lot of the ideas for it from. I mean, it functions almost exactly the same. But you'll see somebody installed a very nice grip, a custom job. You can see here where it's been ground or cut off, so they can access that mag release a little bit better. There's your mag well. But it's a pretty nice grip that they put on here. Fits the hands perfectly, which you kind of want because this thing does kind of bite into your webbing of your hand a little bit when you shoot it. Now, one of the biggest things about these P-64s, you probably already know it, but I'm going to go over it anyways. That trigger pull, though, that trigger pull is horrendous. Watch how hard I have to do it. Now, it's only in double action that it's horrendous, but you'll see. Watch how hard I have to pull this trigger. You'll see my hand strain. See that? That is a crazy, insane trigger pull. I'm not sure why they did it that way. Maybe it's a safety feature. Maybe people back then were just a lot stronger, which could be the case. But that is an insane trigger pull in order to get that going. So now, mind you, single action is a dream. There's almost nothing to it. You barely feel it. It's somewhere right about there. Resets right there. Oh no, I'm sorry. You have to go all the way back out for that reset. So again, it's right around there. You can't really feel it. It's not a crisp, just a crisp snap. It's more of like a slight pull. You don't really feel it. It just kind of goes. But not bad. I don't mind it. You can get Wolf spring kits to put in the back here and replace that. So it's a little bit better of a trigger pull for you. And I can get it going. It is kind of a bear, but I'd rather have it be a little bit easier. All right, so you'll see on the inside there, a little bit different for the firing pin. There's your hammer. You can drop it like normal. When the safety is on, it does disengage the trigger completely. But all in all, it's a great little firearm. And it does have an interesting feature, which actually still works on this, so I'm surprised. It has last round hold open with the magazine in. So if the magazine's empty, it pushes a little switch, keeps that slide open. Even when you drop the magazine, that's still there. You have to just drop it home and it'll actually go back. Very basic, very simple. Probably one of the reasons I like it. I do like simple, easy. They do tend to work pretty well. But we'll go ahead and we'll cut here. I can't get to any of the gun ranges, unfortunately, because I really want to shoot this. The gun shops are open, but the gun ranges are not because of the virus going around. So at some point down the line, I'll probably do a shooting video with it just to kind of make up for that. But I'm going to cut here to keep up with the normal format and take a second, and I will come back and I'll show you disassembly and how easy that is, because it disassembles a little easier and a little differently than you might be used to. We'll be right back. Okay, so we are back, and it is time to show you the disassembly. It's a little different than most firearms, because most you have that little pin here, or notch, or lever, whatever you want to call it. Normally that's what the case would be there. But in this case, it's a little simpler. You just pull the trigger guard down and just wiggle it off to the side a little. It's meant to be a little flexible. Pull it down, wiggle it to the side, and that keeps it open. So I'll show you a little closer. Trigger guard comes out, move it to the side. Once that's to the side, you're going to pull the slide back and up, then forward. So, back, up, and then forward. That's it. You don't have to worry about the barrel coming out. You don't have to worry about the spring or guide rod. It's just two pieces, really. Another thing I like about it. So we'll go straight in here. You notice that the spring is captured on the barrel, and the barrel acts as a guide rod, eliminating the need for an extra piece in there. You'll see the feed ramp into the barrel. Take a look at the interior here. It is very simple design, and I like it. We'll take a look at the upper slide. Looks like most others. You'll see the firing pin and everything, firing pin spring. Very, very simple, very beefy, all steel. This thing's in surprisingly good condition, minus the dog hair. But that's it. It's apart, clean it, oil it. And I will say the one thing that you have troubles when you're putting it back together, you reverse the steps, so you're going to drop it on, pull it back, and you need to pull it back just right so it drops into those slots there. So I'll show you. You're going to put it in like that. You're going to pull it all the way back. It's a little tricky sometimes, so you don't get it right. See that? I'll show you again, because I just did it. I didn't do it completely on center like I meant to. So you're going to put that in there. You see how the springs and everything line up. You're going to pull it back and drop it down. Pull it back, drop it down, let it go forward. Wiggle that back in. That's it. Good to go. That's all it takes. And you'll notice with this thing, since I have such large hands, I do tend to engulf the entire thing. So keep that in mind if you have large hands. This might be uncomfortable for you. I just like it because of what it is. It's a great firearm. Good option. You'll see there's kind of a half-cock position almost. I don't know if that's on purpose or if that's an error, but that allows you to keep it locked and cocked. I don't feel like that's on purpose. I feel like that's an accident. Or it's just because it's older. But you get the idea. You can always get more magazines for these. These run like $20. I think Classic Firearms has them. Or Grab a Gun has them too. You can find them around. But yeah, that's all I wanted to show you on it today. Remember, 9mm Makarov. 9x18 instead of our usual one. And I'm not going to say the measurements of that so it doesn't get caught in some people's heads. Anyways, that's all I had for you today. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to show on it. No, I think that's it. Just all in all, a great firearm and a great value for these firearms. You can get these around $200 these days. But until next time, I hope everyone out there stay safe. Do what you got to do to keep your family protected. And we'll talk to you again next time. Have a great one. Bye-bye.